In 1803, enslaved Africans did the unthinkable. They chose death over enslavement. The year was 1803. The transatlantic slave trade was at its peak.
Millions of Africans had already been taken across the Atlantic, forced into labor, stripped of names, language, and identity. Among them were the Igbo people, from what is now southeastern Nigeria. Slave traders often described the Igbo as difficult or unruly, not because they were violent, but because they refused, mentally and spiritually, to accept bondage. To understand Igbo Landing, you must first understand who the Igbos are. They governed themselves through councils, not kings. Power was shared. Voice mattered. Community was law. Dignity was wealth. Among the Igbo, freedom was not something you earned. You were born with it. To live without autonomy was considered a fate worse than death. When Europeans entered the interior of West Africa, they did not meet empty land, they met societies who farmed their land and told stories at night. Children grew up knowing where they came from and who they belonged to. And when those societies were disrupted, something sacred was threatened. Capture was sudden, villages raided, families torn apart. People who had governed themselves were now forced to kneel. They were stolen out of Africa amidst tears. The journey across the Atlantic, also referred to as the Middle Passage, was designed to break their spirit. Darkness, chains, nakedness endured for weeks. Bodies packed tight in wooden slave ships, disease everywhere, death was constant. And yet, resistance did not disappear. It went quiet. They refused food. They spoke their language. They planned. Yet in the darkness of that ship, a decision was forming. The ship reached the coast of Georgia. The captives were brought ashore. What happened next would echo through history. As the captives overpowered their enslaver. According to oral tradition and historical interpretation, they walked into the water singing, praying, choosing death over enslavement. Because death, in Igbo belief, was not an end, it was a return to the ancestors.